What do you think the American family would look like after 4 years under Kamala Harris?
Wow. I mean, what a struggle. I'm a family, 6 children. It's dangerous. Our kids, my oldest, they can't afford to be in a home, so it's going to look like a lot of adult children living with their parents almost indefinitely. It's going to be rough for families, so it's kind of a buckle your seatbelts and try to survive, really.
What do you think American families will look like under 4 years of Kamala Harris?
Hell on earth.
Can you elaborate? Why do you think it will look like that?
Because she has no policies that she positions. She pushes communism. You cannot align God values with how today's society is, which is a threat to democracy itself. She's very unliked by the community. She wasn't liked in California. She just had more funds than the other component that ran against her in all her elections.
Personally, I think the American family is already being eroded under the Biden-Harris administration, particularly with the expansion of what's called the community schools model, the WISC, whole school, whole community, whole child model. And I personally believe that a Kamala presidency would be the expansion of that and a more greater erosion of the family.
I think that there will be an increased loss of parental control over what our kids are exposed to in society and in schools, in particular in the public schools. I know a lot of people in my community can't afford to send their kids to private schools that are in alignment with their own family values, and so public school is the only option.
What would you say to those mothers who are thinking about supporting Kamala Harris? What would you like to ask them or tell them?
I'm going to ask you to really think and really pray. You need to look at policy. You need to look at what's happened. Were you better under the previous administration? Could you afford to eat? Could you afford gas? Could your kids be set up to go to college? Were your kids being set up to be successful? We can't keep voting for people just because they're a woman or just because they're of any ethnic or you name it. Stop it.
What would you say to moms who are considering voting for Kamala Harris?
If you care about having your son as a son or having your daughter as a daughter, do not vote for Kamala because she is pushing way too many ideologies to where it will affect children. When it comes to Kamala, she needs to, she doesn't represent children. She doesn't have children, which doesn't affect, which doesn't affect how you can represent kids, because at one point I didn't have children and I was taking care of other people's children. But as a human being, to push the agenda of abortion all the way past 9 months, to push the agenda to have kids transition without parents' consent, why would you want that? That's what Kamala wants. And as a parent, you cannot allow that. You have to be the parent for that child. That child is supposed to look up to you first. God, then parents.
First and foremost, I would ask questions. Are you familiar with the community schools model? Are you familiar with the expansion of gender ideology in the school system and in a way through these school-based health centers? So I hope that would spark enough curiosity to help anybody start to look and dig deeper.
Oh, moms, we have a deep love for our children that is like nothing else, and I think you need to consider who is best to make decisions for your children's education, for their upbringing, and if you vote for Vice President Harris, then you need to be prepared for those decisions to be taken away from you as a mother.